Well, hello there, everybody. It is currently lunchtime, close to 12:30, and so I've decided to take an active walk out to check out a burger joint. It's been a while since I've been to an actual burger joint per se. I definitely would not say that Five Guys is a burger joint. That's a chain, okay? So the actual place that I'm going right now, I believe is most definitely not a chain. So yeah, you could probably call this place a joint. But I would really be careful with the language that I use until I actually see the place. Because I do believe that you could only call a burger joint a joint if it looks in my mind like the type of place that you would ultimately call a joint. You know, hey, you guys want to meet up at the joint? Oh, you mean the burger joint, right? Yeah. All right, so burger joint. Are we talking about McDonald's? No. I'm talking about the burger joint, man. Come on, you know the burger joint. No. How about this place? Okay, just for reference, these are the apartments where I currently reside, the town center there. This most definitely is not the burger joint. However, based on the way that this place looks, I would almost be somewhat convinced that this could very well be a potential burger joint, just based on how it looks. Even more so if it was a standalone burger joint. Something like that. But yeah, this is residential stuff. So yeah, you can't have a joint inside a mall. So based on what this actual burger place looks like, then we'll make the decision about whether or not we can actually call it a burger joint. There's other names that certain burger places have been referred to in the past, which do not necessarily coincide with being able to have the actual ability to be called the same name all across the board. For example, burger stand. Yeah, you most definitely can have a burger stand. It's like how you can have an ice cream stand as well. Or you could have a combination burger and ice cream stand, which they do actually have those. Daytona Beach has one that's been around for 90 years. I did a video about that. Maybe I'll be able to post that. They have a chili dog and ice cream stand together, or milkshake stand, whatever. But chili dogs and ice cream, both their specialty. So burger stand, but once again, you cannot call McDonald's a burger stand. So you have burger joints, burger stands, burger bars. I've never heard of a burger bar before. You can have a burger place. Hey, how about we meet up at the burger place? So that's exactly where we're going right now, because it may not be a building that stands alone by itself. And in that case, you wouldn't want to call it a joint, because a joint would be a standalone building. Place, that's a little bit different. It depends what type of place it may be. You could say you want to go to the burger restaurant. Let's meet up at the burger restaurant. So in essence, you would say, oh, okay, well, which one? You want to meet up at the burger joint, the burger place, the burger restaurant, the burger stand. Well, which one exactly? Well, once again, if you use the words burger joint, you wouldn't have to explain this to anyone, because you would most probably be in a very small town, and pretty much every single person in that town would know exactly which joint you're talking about when you say, hey, let's meet up at the burger joint. This is right by the train station, actually. Or not the train station, the train tracks. The area where the train tracks go by. Okay. Flip around, and just down the street from where my apartment complex is, there's this beautiful home. Hotel. I don't know exactly. This has got to be like a bed and breakfast or something. But it sits right beside the train station. And so coming up on it. This is called Huthmaker Violins. Okay, so it's not a bed and breakfast or hotel at all. It's just a violin making company. That's cool. I've been around probably for quite some time. Violins. All right, moving onward. Let's go ahead and keep this in landscape format as we cross the actual railroad tracks. One of the coolest things about the current place where I'm living here in Suwannee at the Sky apartment complex is that I hear the trains roll by, man, and I've always been a huge fan of trains since a very young age. That has got to be one of the most pleasant sounds that you could possibly think of for me to hear from my apartment complex. So especially late at night, hearing the train rumble, and they're close too. They're close enough such that I can hear them rumble by, and I hear the horn, and it's a lot better than what I was hearing when I was leaving Daytona Beach. I was hearing sirens everywhere, all in and around Daytona Beach. It was a little bit unsettling, actually, to hear the sound of sirens all the time. I assume they were all going to a nearby hospital, but someone else told me that it was actually the sound of the roads, and the roads would make some kind of strange rumbling noise as the cars passed over top of that particular part of the road, and it just happened to make it sound like ambulances constantly going off all the time. But what a treacherous sound to have to hear. Listen to this. Silence, man. Okay. Public art. It's really cool that they have this art painted on this building right on this main road here and Main Street. Very small little Main Street style area. Small town. They had old rail cars basically that you could walk up to and look at and walk in and around, and they were just basically sitting there. They were abandoned. And so this kind of takes me back to that aspect of China. There's a little caboose here. And they don't really use cabooses very much anymore, from what I've observed anyway. As the electrical video to post. But yeah, this actually is part of Suwannee Old Town as well. It says right here, Suwannee Old Town. So I wonder, is this the old town? Is this the actual historical part of Old Town Suwannee here? I have no idea. It's just right across the railroad tracks from the Sky Apartments there. That's all I can tell you. Old Town Suwannee. Sign erected September 2003. Thanks to all who give their time and resources to better Old Town Suwannee. So this is Old Town Suwannee. Wow. So out by the big lawn and where the city hall is, I thought that was the main part of Suwannee, Old Town Suwannee. I thought that the city hall was kind of the main asset of the Old Town, but it turns out that that's actually set a little bit away from Old Town, set apart from it, it's actually across the railroad tracks from it, which is a little bit odd, because typically railroad tracks act more so as a boundary between cities and different landscape elements. You wouldn't usually find the courthouse and the main park area and the main street with the main restaurants on one side, and then railroad tracks, and have it separated by that boundary. It's just a little bit odd, that's all. But here's a list of different companies, I guess, that put this together. Suwannee Day 2002, and then there's an architect involved. Okay. There is a ramp here going up to the caboose, and there was an architect involved. And this is Main Street, actually. Oh, wow. I am just now discovering that this is actually Old Town Suwannee. But what about the other part? This is Old Town. Separated by railroad to two different parts of town. Old Town Suwannee, and then you have the New Town Suwannee, where the city hall is. The caboose. Like many Gwinnett cities, the growth of Suwannee dates back to the construction of the railroad. Just like Acworth, the other place I was telling you about. Suwannee was predominantly known for its cotton production. Passengers would ride into Suwannee twice daily to buy and sell their goods in town. Suwannee was also a destination for travelers looking to get away from the hustle and bustle of Atlanta. The caboose stands today as a symbol of the historic importance of the railroad to the earliest settlers of Suwannee. Okay, so once again, go to visit Acworth, Georgia, also another railroad town. Here's a little timeline, and then you'll have an actual caboose that you can go inside with an actual museum. And I do believe that the museum is open relatively late as well. Oh, this is a picture of them actually setting the caboose down, right? Yeah, and you can see it's yellow here. So the caboose itself is not very relative to anything historical, and red was not its original color. Okay, so we are still here in Suwanee, Old Town Suwanee. This being the main road here, Main Street. Okay, and here they've just, is the word gentrified? Some landscape architects have come through and they have gentrified the area. They have upscaled it a little bit from the way it used to look back in the 1800s when it was old, dodgy, and dingy. Now it looks nice, new, neat, and clean, which is fine. It's just that's the way that they all look these days. They all look heavily gentrified, and none of them look rustic and dodgy and dingy and old and unsafe anymore like they used to. Okay, so this is Pilgrim. It says, let not another's disobedience to nature become an ill to you. For you were not born to be unhappy with others, but to be happy with them. And if one is unhappy, he is so unto himself. For God made all men to enjoy felicity and peace. And that's from Epictetus. And this is Pilgrim, donated by the Davell family in 2013. Okay, kind of a neat little message. Here's the back of the guy. Oh man. Okay. Okay, folks, looks like we have officially made it to the place where we need to be to enjoy our lunch for the day. It's stormy as usual, every day. Same theme, stormy, stormy, stormy. That good old July thickness, I guess, that we have. So we are officially on the other side of the railroad tracks. We have gotten ourselves to a rural part of Suwanee. Of course, from observation, we now can see that Suwanee is a very rural place. But yeah, looking here, these are the different shops that they have to offer. I do believe I just lost that coverage. So what were we doing? We were looking at the shops that were on offer here at 315 Summit Plaza. You have a taqueria, street taco and chicken. Wax Hub, you have sushi. Okay. Oh, there's another place, sushi and hibachi. E-cigs and a dentist. Just to kind of give you an idea of what this area looks like. Looks like America. What can I say? This is every other road in America. Gas station. This is neat. You have a top shelf. If you're into beer and stuff, that's a huge liquor store right there. But yeah, you have your gas stations, you have your strip malls with your typical vape shop. Yes, folks, that is a vape shop over there. I had this idea that maybe I should open my own vape shop, but I'm going to leave it up to all the other hundreds of thousands of people that already came up with that same exact idea. Okay, so interiors, dermatology, little office complex here. But yeah, the main place that we're going to check out is the Craft Burger. But yeah, you could call this a burger joint, I guess. Since it's the only one here. Yeah, it's a burger joint. Burger parlor. We don't call them parlors these days, but burger joint. Yeah, let's meet me a Craft Burger. Go check out what it's like to have a Craft Burger here in Suwanee, Georgia. Boy, am I ever hungry. Okay, folks, it appears as if, no, I don't want to use the word it appears anymore. I did make a mistake. I came here craving a burger, and I accidentally ordered a chicken tender sandwich instead. Let's see here. I ordered pretty impulsively because I saw a couple things here. It says Atlanta hot honey. It says right there at the top, crispy chicken tenders, but it just didn't register with me. The thing that registered with me more so was, oh no, New York crispy buffalo hot. The blue cheese is what registered with me because I'm a blue cheese connoisseur. And so I just said to myself, oh, burger, blue cheese, burger, blue cheese. Nope, it's okay. I'm gonna eat it anyway. Chicken tenders are good, and this place is within walking distance of my new apartment. So, hey, I'll come back tomorrow and get a burger tomorrow. So what the hell? I'll just enjoy myself. So these are some of their main specialties that they have. World famous chicken collection. And the manager or one of the owners did just finish telling me that more people are buying the chicken sandwiches these days. Anyway, but you can see right here, folks, clear as day. Burgers at the top. Chicken sandwiches at the bottom. Look at that one, Alabama white. It's got coleslaw in it. Look at that. Garlic herb coleslaw, pickles, garlic aioli, whatever that is. Alabama white. Barbecue sauce, okay. Some information here to look at while we're waiting. And they did tell me that they're actually using that next space to expand. So they just recently bought that space. It was a Verizon before, cell phone place. And so they just bought it and they plan to expand into that space. Why not BYOB, build your own burger? So that is an option that you can have as well when you come here. You can choose to do it yourself and tell them exactly what you want from here instead of choosing one of their own specialty burgers. You can level up. You can add some flavors you might not have. You can add fried egg if you want. I don't know why anybody would do that. Wings, they have wings here. Okay. Wow. Fingers, okay. They're not really designating what sauce you could choose to get your wings with. Well, they even have salmon here, man. Blackened salmon, wow. I did recently order those meals online. I forget the name of the company, but they're kind of like microwavable meals, but they're like higher quality. They're supposed to be arriving at my apartment pretty soon, within the next couple days, so hopefully I'll be digging into those. But yeah, they have salads here, buffalo chicken salad. And then the things, I guess those are the side dishes. And they did tell me that they had a lot of different types of size, so I didn't have to just get the fries, because I'm not usually a big fan of French fries. But they did have all kinds of other things, and one interesting thing I noted is they have fried Brussels sprouts. I've never heard of that before. Fried Brussels sprouts, folks. Deep fried Brussels sprouts with Old Bay infused oil and breadcrumb. So we're going to try some of those. I've heard of fried okra, but never fried Brussels sprouts. So once again, it's not a burger, but it's a chicken tender sandwich. It's okay. I made a mistake, but I'm still gonna scarf that sucker down. And these are the Brussels sprouts, okay? Here's some information I found about this hotel that we were looking at earlier, which is now a violin shop, the Rhodes Hotel. Local businessman Daniel Bourne constructed the stately folk Victorian home on Russell Street in 1880 for his daughter Lily and her husband Henry Rhodes, who was the head of the Suwanee School Board as well as the railroad depot agent. Okay. The couple remodeled the home throughout the years, adding guest rooms to create Suwanee's first hotel. Conveniently located near the train depot, the 4,000 square foot house boasts 8 fireplaces, 7 bedrooms, 3 parlors, wraparound porches, and a carriage house. With amenities ranging from a carriage ride to homemade dinners made by Mrs. Rhodes, the Rhodes Hotel was known as one of the finest places to stay on the rail line. Wow. There's the timeline. Mr. Rhodes uses the renovated home to attract teachers from Atlanta who would reside in the hotel during the week and take the train home on the weekends. "2014 Huthmaker Fine Violins purchases and renovates the Rhodes Hotel to serve as their violin studio and workshop." Wow. I would very much wish that this would be like a bed and breakfast or something like that instead. I also really wish that there still was a depot that existed here, other than, of course, a Home Depot. So at some point in time, you know, freight took over, freight railroad, and passenger railway became much more extinct than it is now. Okay? All right, we're on the way back, and I'm gonna have a rest. Okay. To go ahead and conclude today's shenanigans with our vocabulary mishap regarding what we can and cannot call different restaurants that serve hamburgers of various types. I caught myself just now calling the place where I just ate a burger place. So I think it's fair enough that I can go ahead and say that most days we meet people at the burger place, not the burger joint. That's the 1960s term. We say the burger place. Well, that was a delicious restaurant. I intended to get a hamburger at the burger place, but I found out that not only was it a burger place, but it was also a chicken place too. Chicken places are always welcome because Chick-fil-A is just way too overrated. I mean, I love Chick-fil-A just like every other American. Did I say every other American? No, every American loves Chick-fil-A, right? But I just am a little happy to see that there are other chicken places also in the market here. And that's true. In China, they have those chicken places, Korean style chicken places. It's really spicy type stuff. Okay. But yeah, I definitely plan on going back. I would definitely like to try one of their hamburgers to see what they taste like. But that chicken tenders sandwich really hit the spot, especially with the blue cheese. I ate the entire thing, as you saw. And then something very unique as a side dish. I didn't have to get the fries. And I'm glad that I wasn't limited to just one side dish. I got to choose from a multitude of different potential side dishes. And the one that I happened to choose was the fried Brussels sprouts, which I've never, ever heard of fried Brussels sprouts before. I've heard of fried okra, but never fried Brussels sprouts. First time ever, and I would say that I most definitely plan to go back for the sole intention of just getting the fried Brussels sprouts, and only the fried Brussels sprouts. See ya.